All right, in case you're concerned, we decided to skip lesson number 7. We're not going to be doing it or assessing it, so we're going to go straight to lesson number 8, applications of sinusoidal functions. So let's take a look at the first one. The minimum depth of water in a harbor T hours after midnight is given by the equation d at t is equal to 12 plus 5 cos 0.5 t. And as you can see to the right here, I wrote down the base function, and then I lined up the question because this one over here, in my opinion, is a little bit disorganized. They had the d value first, and I think it's useful to take this time to line it up. Then you're certain that when you graph it using your calculator, you know that depth is your y value, and that the time after midnight is your x value. And it just helps in later calculations. So it says sketch a graph showing the depth of the water for the first 24 hours. Well, let's take a look at what we need to set our windows to, because I find that's often the more difficult part for students when graphing. So I am going to kind of list out what I think the window settings should be. So I'll do my X window settings, and I'll go min, max, scale. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say, because I know that X is time, time's not going to be negative, so I'm going to put the min at 0. And they want us to graph it over 24 hours, so I'm going to put the max at 24, and an appropriate scale would be 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter. Now Y, I need to see both the top and bottom of this graph. So let's take a look at what our max and min's going to be. Well, I know my displacement is 12, and my amplitude is 5, so this is my midline. So when I think about this graph, it's going to have a midline at 12. And if I think about my amplitude being 5, it's going to go up from 12, 5 units, and it's going to go down from 12, 5 units. So it's going to go up to 17, and it's going to hit down to 7. So my Y scale, I'm going to go 0, and I'm going to go a little above so I can see it, 20, and 1. So we've calculated the max to be your midline plus the amplitude, and your min to be the midline minus the amplitude. So this is going to be 12 plus 5 is 17, and our units are in, oh, it doesn't tell us. And this is going to be 12 minus 5, which is 7. Oh, units are down here, so they're meters. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to my graphing calculator, which I've already put it in, but I'm going to adjust my windows. So my X min is 0, my X max is 24, scale is 1, Y min is -1, 20 and 1. Actually, I can go up to my Y min and put that at 0. And I've put the equation in as I see it, and now I'm going to hit graph. So there's your graph. And just a reminder, you're going to want to make sure you're in radian mode. I'm going to give you a moment to get that graphed, and I'll go back to the notes when you're done.